We're going to do a blast zone today. I was looking up behavioral health, and then right underneath behavioral health is mental health, Wikipedia. But anyways, this was about a slumber party, but now it's gone into a whole nother thing, and I'll bring that up. But it says behavioral health often is used to describe the connection between our behaviors and the health and well-being of the body, mind, and spirit. These include behaviors such as eating habits, drinking, or exercising that either immediately or over time impact physical or mental health. Let's break that down for a second. This is saying that exercising can be bad over time. Well, to a certain extent, certain stuff, yeah. If you're blown up on juice and growth hormones and everything, or if you're just not eating the right foods, if you're depriving your body, then yes. But exercise is something you can do for the rest of your life. It is. If you do it right and you do it healthy and you actually research it and find out what you do and how you do it and journal it, you'll have success. I've got almost 4 years now. But right off the rip, that tells people right there. This is where you get an argument with people and say, man, you need to exercise. No, you've just switched addictions. You've just switched addictions. And when people read this that never exercise, it subconsciously tells them right there that exercising is the same as damn eating habits, drinking, and drugging. To them, they're saying that. So it makes them feel better, and it also tells them that they don't have to work out because it's just, fitness, it's just another compulsion. And it's not. If you'll sit down with me, I will show you how to make it a healthy lifestyle. You'll feel better, you'll breathe better, you'll think better, you'll just be all better all around. And you will. And it's so easy. It's the easiest thing in the world. Here's pride. We'd rather stay right here. But let's look up. But I'm telling you, that right there is where it's lying to people. I don't care what you say. Here we go. This is Wikipedia, mental health. Mental health is a level of psychological well-being or an absence of mental illness. Mental health is a level of psychological well-being or an absence of mental illness. Okay. It is the psychological state of someone who is functioning at a satisfactory level of emotion behavioral adjustment. From the perspective of positive psychology, mental health may include an individual's ability to enjoy life and create a balance between life activities and efforts to achieve psychological resilience. Let's break that down. Mental health may include an individual's ability to enjoy life and create a balance between life activities and efforts to achieve psychological resilience. Okay, now somebody that does have true mental illness, they will have to be balanced out through medications. But that sentence right there, I got hit with 6 diagnoses. Let me reread that sentence. Those pharmacies gave me the ability to not enjoy, the medications gave me the ability to not enjoy life and to create a not so good balance between life activities and efforts to achieve psychological resilience. That's my definition. Then it says, according to the World Health Organization, mental health includes subjective well-being, perceived self-efficiency, autonomy, competence, intergenerational dependence, and self-actualization of one's intellectual and emotional potential, among others. The WHO further states that the well-being of an individual is encompassed in the realization of their abilities, coping with normal stresses of life, productive work, and contribution to their community. Cultural differences, subjective assessments, and competing professional theories are all affect how mental health is defined. But we have to go back. Let's go back into childhood. I'm going to explain my story. See, they're not talking about the history of a human body, the anatomy. If I tried alcohol at 13, we'll say 13, okay, when I started doing that, and then prior to that was porn magazines. So now my mind, everything was ruined. My whole growth, when I started drinking and looking at porn and all that at a very young age, my emotional maturing stopped. It stopped at a very young age. And people can say it's everything else, but there is a lot of factors that go in when we were adolescents that create all this. And it is. They just tell you you're fucked up and that's it. And you need all these pills. You need to take all these pills. And that's it. But we have to break all this down. We have to go back and look, because if we stop emotional maturing at a very young age, then we're going to stay in that mindset as we get older. And of course, they're going to push medications because our behavior and our attitude is going to match up where we left off earlier in life. And that's some real stuff. That's real talk. Mental health and mental illness. According to the UK Surgeon Book, mental health is the successful performance of mental function resulting in productive activities, fulfilling relationships with other people, and providing the ability to adapt to change and cope with adversity. I'm going to redo that sentence. According to Matt Childs and many other people in recovery, they have successfully performed mental function resulting in productive activities, fulfilling relationships with other people that they never could before, and providing the ability to adapt to change, to cope with adversity. That's what recovery does. You know, you could put that shit in there, and if it's Wikipedia, I can go in there and say, I need that shit changed. That's right. Everybody else is doing it. I'm going to do it. Yeah, it's going to say Matt Childs right there. It says a person struggling, and I'm telling you, some people need medication, but we don't need to flood everybody with tsunamis of it, okay? Let's get that straight. A person struggling with their mental health may experience this because of stress, loneliness, depression, anxiety, relationship problems, death of a loved one, suicidal thoughts, grief, addiction, ADHD, cutting, self-harm, self-injury, burning, various mood disorders, or the learning disabilities. A person struggling with withdrawals, a person struggling with the obsession of a substance constantly going to their triune brain may cause stress, loneliness, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, grief, addiction, self-injury, burning, various mood disorders, as well as learning disabilities. You can't learn whenever your brain's trying to heal. You can't. You can't learn when it's trying to heal. We've been killing it for 20, 30 years, 10 years. Now we've taken that shit away and the brain it's injured, it's hurt. It is down and it's searching for something, and here comes the doctor. There you go, there's some pills. Now I got all them pills hitting my brain. Bam, bam. And the whole time I'm trying to get better, but I can't even figure out how to love myself because the medication has suppressed on how to feel. Okay? That's how that works. You can use CBD oil, you can use hemp, you can get it in you. You can use cannabis for pain, but you got to throw that old Cheech and Chong theory out. I mean, there's a lot. Research it. Research it as much as you watch bullshit on TV, and you'll actually get somewhere. And, you know, once again, the people that do have a mental illness, it's called a chemical imbalance. And there is stuff that can balance it out, but if something is not working, then it's time to change it. It's time to change something else. It's time to try something else. Okay? And it really is. Reach out and do your research. In the mid-19th century, William Sweetser was the first to coin the term mental hygiene, which can be seen as the precursor to contemporary approaches to work in promoting positive mental health. One of the founders and the fourth president of American Psychiatric Association further defined mental hygiene as the art of preserving the mind against all incidents and influences calculated to deteriorate its qualities, impair its energies, or derange its movements. Well, look, I ain't reading all that crap. Mental well-being. Mental health can be seen as an unstable continuum, where an individual's mental health may have many different possible values. Mental wellness is generally viewed as a positive attribute, even if the person does not have any diagnosed mental health condition. This definition of mental health highlights emotional well-being, the capacity to live a full and creative life, and the flexibility to deal with life's inevitable challenges. Some discussions are formulated in terms of contentment or happiness. Many therapeutic systems and self-help books offer methods and philosophies exposing strategies and techniques vaunted as effective for further improving the mental wellness. Positive psychology is increasingly prominent in mental health. Hold up. It says many therapeutic systems and self-help books. But are they helping? No, they're not. Because it's getting worse. More and more people are dying every day. The opiate numbers have not went down. 240 people die from alcoholic-induced deaths every day, every 6 minutes. And there's more than that. And this is insane. This is insane, and these are your valedictorians writing all this shit. This is. And they pull all them valedictorians out because they don't care about them. They want their knowledge is what they want. And they want to figure out how we can write this shit to confuse that human brain that they're already screwed up from damage it from everything, from anger to jealousy to gluttony to alcohol to drugs to caffeine to tobacco to everything. We don't have a chance when we've got all that flying in our brain. But then we're going to jump on this and be like, hell yeah, I'm going to get me a self-help book. I'm going to get me a therapeutic system going on. And I'm going to believe somebody else's philosophy. That's a philosophy. Are they living that shit like we are down here? No, they ain't. We are living this shit, buddy. And it says a holistic model of mental health generally includes concepts based upon anthropological, educational, psychological, religious, and sociological perspectives. Blah, blah, blah. The model of mental well-being views mental well-being as encompassing the three components of emotional well-being, social well-being, and psychological well-being. Emotional well-being is defined as having high levels of positive emotions, whereas social and psychological well-being are defined as the presence of psychological and social skills and abilities that contribute to optimal functioning in daily life. The model has received empirical support across cultures. Well, of course, when you put different shit in your brain, you're going to have different results. Success. You know, your emotional well-being depends on what you're putting in, what you're allowing in your head. Your social well-being is what are you making yourself do? Are you going around them same son of bitches every day, getting hammered? Or are you actually trying to do something? And the psychological well-being just comes from the emotional and the social well-being. So those two key components right there, the emotional and the social, that's going to define your psychological well-being. And it is. You know, you can't be up your ass every day worrying about some shit you didn't get that might not even been yours. You know, have we actually worked towards emotional well-being? Are we actually working toward a social foundation to where we can get around people, big environments, parties and everything, to where we don't have to drink? We don't have to do those drugs. We don't have to partake in all that horrible activity. Where we can be solid because we have put the emotional and social well-being within, and then the psychological result is that we're grounded, baby, and we can do it. You know, I mean, it drives me crazy reading this shit the more I do it. You know, in children and young adults, it says mental health and stability is a very important factor in person's everyday life. Social skills, behavioral skills, and someone's way of thinking are just some of the things that the human brain develops at an early age. That's right. They just told on themselves. Let's say mental health and stability is a very important factor in person's everyday life. Social skills, behavioral skills, and someone's way of thinking are interrupted by all these damn tablets and phones and all that other shit, and it destroys human brains at a very early age. That's pretty good, ain't it? Learning how to interact with others and how to focus on certain subjects are essential lessons to learn from the time we can talk to the way to when we are so old that we can barely walk. Okay, learning how to interact with others and how to focus on certain subjects are essential lessons. Those are gone. That is a lie. How can you interact with others in certain subjects or in essential lessons to learn in life at a young age when you've got all this stuff in front of you? Disney, here you go, get your cartoons, Cartoon Network, bam, there you go. And that's it. So they are setting them up right here to be messed up down the road for the medications, but they're taking all these compulsions it's an addiction, all these devices. And y'all don't understand, but these kids become addicted to these devices. And they do. I mean, take one out of their hand, what do? They go run to the other room and grab another one. So now all those skills that the real human beings before all this shit came around, how to learn and research and read and actually do things instead of getting up and grabbing this and going, well, I can't, you know, I mean, I'm serious. Payphones was when it was all we had our shit together. It says, however, there are some people out there who have difficulty from these kind of skills and behaving like an average person. This is most likely the cause of having a mental illness due to all that shit that these kids have to go through nowadays. That's my saying. A mental illness is a wide range of conditions that affects a person's mood, thinking, and behavior. About 20% of the people in the United States, ages 18 and older, have been diagnosed with some kind of mental disorder. Wow! A quarter of the United States. However, not much is said about children with, yes it is. Hell, all the kids are on ADHD medicine and everything, and more kids are getting autism. Says the most common mental illnesses in children include, but are not limited to, ADHD, autism, and anxiety disorder, as well as depression, of course. Look at what these kids, I'm not going to go into the sky and the wiring and the radiation that everything's putting off, but I'm telling you right now, we are more susceptible now to catch anything very easily. More people are getting cancer. There's more and more autism cases, way more ADHD cases, and way more depression. It's not a mental illness all the time. It is, but I'm telling you right now, we have a lot of factors that's included into all this that's going straight to the brain, to the human brain every day. Every day. The signal is getting through the TV, the lighting, the energy, the frequency that all this shit's putting out. And a lot of y'all you will never research that. And it says, have it, I really don't want to go into any more of this because I went over a lot. I went over a whole lot. But I could go on and on and on about that. Prevention, is defined as, let's see. No, here's another self-help book. Yep, let's get you another book. Read that book right there. That shit's going to help. No, it ain't. But whatever. I hope you got something out of it because I did. Love you.